This is video 1 in the Thrive series for Berrinba East State School.
Good morning, Thrive parents. I'm Miss Nadine, the OT from Berrinba East State School.
Now, the reason I was out on the trails this morning telling you all about that was because I was actually doing the very same thing for myself. Before I start work, a few times a week, I need to go and to run the trails and be amongst nature, and ideally with a social connection. But the reason I'm doing it is because that is a powerful way to reduce cortisol and adrenaline in the body. Now, you don't need to know much about these guys except that they are the stress hormones and they get into a lot of other areas and cause havoc. Now, at least in part, the regulation of the little person who has a tantrum at the least frustration. And so discharging those hormones in a useful way is super important towards being able to regulate your emotions. Have great friendships. Let's run through a few quick things of what we did today with your little person. There were 2 groups, one of Year 4s and one of Year 5s, and we did a little bit of a get to know you session. So the main purpose was to talk about our interests, and then we did a little bit of what I call conversation mapping. So as we were talking, I was taking notes of the different conversation points that we talked about. Afterwards, I related that to whether things were on topic, related, or left field. The diagram shows that we use a complex flipping in and out of the topic and the related topic to build a conversation. Your student may have brought home the little notebook that I had given them in their group. Part of this social emotional learning journey is that we're going to document a few things into a toolbox, and in order to keep that toolbox in one place, I have provided a notebook. The notebooks are intended to be a conversation point for yourself and your student, so feel free to ask them about it. If they haven't brought it home today, go ahead and ask them to bring it home tomorrow. In there is a little packet of mindfulness cards. Each has a very short challenge that could be for just 1 minute, one time in the next week. That's their homework as I spoke to them, and I'm just letting you know so that everyone's on board. For my teachers now, I also wanted to raise the idea of having a parking garage for the problems that come into the room, especially after breaks or when you're starting an important piece of work. What I did was just ask around the group if there were any things to put in the parking garage. Now, if you think there might be some privileged information or something that the students don't want to share, you can hand out a post-it note and have them write down or draw the thing that they'd like to park. Then you take those items or write down those things in a parking garage. It can be a scrap piece of paper. And you say, for now, I will hold those. I will look after them and I will take care of those worries and concerns that you have until we're finished. And at the end, you can have them back, or I can take them and throw them out or shred them. You just let me know what you want. Now, my Year 4 group were able to talk about expected and unexpected behaviours, but we had such fun in the Year 5 group talking about our interests that we ran out of time. This has been Miss Nadine for the Berrinba East Thrive group, and I'll talk to you again next week. So, to recap, nature, connection and moving your body helps to reduce cortisol. Help your students stick to topic and related areas, not left field. And teachers, try parking issues before a lesson.